Good morning on this brisk May day. We, the faculty of the University of Minnesota School of Dentistry, present to all gathered the candidates for degrees in Advanced Education in Dentistry, Master of Science in Dental Hygiene, Bachelor of Science in Dental Hygiene, Master of Dental Therapy, and Doctor of Dental Surgery. Please be seated. Welcome to our commencement ceremony. I'm Gary Anderson, and it's my distinct privilege to serve as Dean of the School of Dentistry. Today is a day for celebration for many reasons. We celebrate the accomplishments of these scholars and graduates. We celebrate all of you who've supported them through their education. I'd like to take a few moments to introduce our special guests and representatives here with us today. Please stand and remain standing as I introduce you. The Honorable Amy Klobuchar, U.S. Senator from Minnesota, our distinguished guest of honor today. Dr. Catherine Bonison, Associate Vice President and Chief Operating Officer for the Academic Health Center. The guy whose arms are shaking from carrying the mace in, Dr. Brent Larson, Professor and Program Director in the Department of Developmental and Surgical Sciences, Division of Orthodontics. Dr. Larson's our Century Club Professor of the Year. Dr. Keith Mays, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. Dr. Todd Thayer, Associate Dean for Clinical Affairs. Dr. David Bereiter, Interim Associate Dean for Research. Dr. Natty Lopez, Assistant Dean for Admissions and Diversity. Dr. Joel Rudney, Assistant Dean for Research. Dr. Dan Score, Interim Chair, Department of Developmental and Surgical Sciences. Dr. Don Simone, Chair for the Department of Diagnostic and Biological Sciences. Dr. Sheila Riggs, Chair for the Department of Primary Dental Care. Dr. Paul Lean, Interim Chair for the Department of Restorative Sciences. Dr. Christine Blue, Director of the Division of Dental Hygiene. Dr. Carl Self, Director of the Division of Dental Therapy. Dr. Eric Mills, Clinical Associate Professor in the Division of Comprehensive Care. Dr. Chris Lawther, Adjunct Associate Professor, Division of Prosthodontics. Dr. Lawther was selected by the Doctor of Dental Surgery class of 2018 to be one of their 2 hooders. Dr. Retta Talib, Clinical Assistant Professor in the Department of Developmental and Surgical Sciences. Dr. Talib was also selected by the Doctor of Dental Surgery class of 2018 to be a hooder. Dr. Douglas Wolf, President of the Minnesota Board of Dentistry. Dr. David Resch, President of Minnesota Dental Association. Ms. Luann Goodnow, President of the Minnesota Dental Hygienists Association. Dr. Mary Paraso, President of the School of Dentistry Alumni Society. Ms. Bridget Anderson, Executive Director of the Minnesota Board of Dentistry. Mr. Carmelo Cinqueonche, Executive Director of the Minnesota Dental Association. And joining us on stage are the faculty of the School of Dentistry. Please, a round of applause for all of them. Please be seated. This next introduction has special meaning for me. Our guest of honor and I both come from families with roots on the Iron Range. That's roots, not roots. Since arriving in the U.S. Senate, Amy Klobuchar has earned a reputation as an effective, results-driven legislator, willing to reach across the aisle to get things done. Last Congress, Senator Klobuchar ranked first on a list of all 100 senators with the most bills that have been enacted into law. Throughout her time in Congress, Senator Klobuchar has been a consistent advocate for a high-quality and affordable health care system that works for all Minnesota families. Through numerous bills to address skyrocketing prescription drug costs, she's worked towards boosting competition, better deals for our seniors, and ending pay-for-delay tactics. She believes no Minnesotan should choose between paying their mortgage or paying a hospital bill. And to bring that more close to home for me and those of us in the School of Dentistry, a father of one of our cleft lip palate patients who was once again employed and unemployment could now make house payments but did not qualify for health care coverage for his daughter's cleft care. Dr. Klobuchar is making significant efforts to try to address some of these concerns. Has also been a strong supporter of students. She's currently working to bring down the cost of college and ease the burden of student debt. That is why she is leading legislation in the Senate that would allow people to refinance their outstanding student loan debt at lower interest rates and fought for the restoration of year-round Pell Grants. My honor to introduce Senator Amy Klobuchar.
Well, thank you so much, Dean. Thank you. It's great to be here with the class of 2018. I realized as I walked in that your color is like lilac, but I'll call it purple. And as Dr. Riggs told me, you guys were purple before the Vikings, so that's pretty cool. Parents, grandparents, all the family members here today, the faculty, staff. My daughter actually graduated from college last year. So I remember the pride of this type of moment, but also the panic for getting the mortarboard, losing the diploma, and then my personal favorite, I lost the in-laws. But I found them, so that was really important. And I know in this crowd you know to pack your toothbrush. Nothing but a good dentistry joke that no one laughs at. So. But actually, when I came in, I still tear up when I hear that music as you all walk in and remember that personal fear of not tripping. But what I most remember when I hear that is one of my firsts, and that was when I was first invited to Washington. And it was when President Clinton was president. I was the county attorney, and at the last minute, I was invited to introduce him about some crime legislation. And I will never forget this. I literally had never been in the White House, and I'm standing out there, not even on a tour, with the President of the United States about to go in the East Room. They have all these cameras. The military band is playing, and it's playing that song, Hail to the Chief. Da, 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 da. I was super nervous. I start walking in, and all of a sudden I feel this big hand on my shoulder, and this voice says, I know you're going to do great out there, but when they play that song, I usually go first. That's a true story. That is a true story, which he still tells today. So that means that anything that happens to you today, graduates, will be better than that. So dentistry is your calling, this great profession. You've chosen this not because of the glamorous scrubs, not because of your skills in understanding garbled speech as you check out teeth, but because you fundamentally believe that you were put on this earth to help the people around you. Or as the late, great Senator Paul Wellstone once said, to improve people's lives. And that is really what the medical profession is all about. You are truly coming into this profession of dentistry at both a challenging and an exciting time. Challenging because of some of the things the dean just talked about, the cost of health and dental care, skyrocketing prescription drug prices, opioid overprescribing, please don't do it, and the issues that many are facing in affording dental insurance or finding a dentist where they live, especially in our rural areas. And we know that not being able to see a dentist can be related to a range of problems, especially when it hit kids early. But at the same time, it's also this incredible time of excitement. You look at the advancement in medicine, in cures, in new technology, in lives saved, in lives bettered. So you're going out into a world that is truly changing, a world that can be chaotic, but a world that needs you. Nationally, you're seeing more and more people of color, more immigrants, more women in your profession. There you go. Excellent. As a side note, by the way, we've actually seen some changes for the first time in like hundreds of years in the Senate. We're now up to 23 women in the Senate, an all-time high. But in fact, we had for the first time in the history of the Senate since 1789, a baby on the Senate floor. This was quite exciting, and I had worked on it for a long, long time, and this was Tammy Duckworth, Iraq War veteran, lost both her legs in a helicopter crash, the senator from Illinois, a mom for the second time at age 50, and she thought, well, since we have these 1 a.m. votes, maybe she could bring the baby when the baby was young. Well, that was quite the moment, since we have not ever expanded access on the Senate floor since 1789, except for a dog. And so we worked on this together, and actually my favorite question, and the reason I'm telling you this story after we got the whole thing done, was that Senator Orrin Hatch, one of my friends, a little more senior than me, said to the media, well, okay, 1 baby, but what if we end up with 10 babies on the floor? And I said, we already have 10 babies on the floor. But in fact, I thought to myself, if we could ever get to that moment where we could have 10 women senators that would have 10 babies on the floor, that would be a good moment. So the whole story is there for you, because people often ask me, as I'm sure they do in your new profession, well, how do you handle this with all this stuff going on? And I always tell them there are these incredible moments of hope and optimism. Seeing students like yourselves go into a profession, seeing you work so hard to get there, knowing you'll have student loans, knowing that you're in an incredibly competitive environment, knowing that you're taking risks and going out there and doing something and believing in science and believing in our country. That's what makes me feel good. Not to mention a little 10-day-old baby named Miley Pearl, who came to the Senate floor and slept through the entire historic moment. So, too often, your generation gets a bad rap. I know this because I have a daughter in your generation. So I love these news headlines. I promise these are actual news headlines. Here's a great one. Millennials are killing the napkin industry. That's true because you're using paper towels. Or CBS News, blame millennials for vanishing bar of soap because you're using liquid soap. That's pretty smart. The Economist headline, why aren't millennials buying diamonds? Maybe they need to see your student loans. The New York Post, my all-time favorite, millennials have officially ruined brunch. Now, as I said, I don't make fun of millennials because of my daughter and because over half my office is made up of people from your generation. And I instead have seen the passion of this generation for making our world a better and healthier place, the hope and future, the diversity. So when I look into this crowd of dentists and of those in the profession and those that have worked so hard, I don't worry about the future of the bar of soap or diamond rings. I believe you're ready to do the best by your communities. So one of the things I think is a challenge in today's world where everyone's in their own silos is how you work as a team. Maybe in the office, the dental office you'll be part of, maybe if you go on to teach, maybe in your own community. And last year I heard the president of the Chicago Cubs, we're such strong Twins fans, we can deal with this story, Theo Epstein. And he told the story of Game 7 of the 2016 World Series. As you know, at that time, the Cubs were 4 outs away from their first World Series title in 108 years. and they blew a 3-run lead, and the game was going into extra innings, and then there was a rain delay. During the rain delays, players, as you've probably heard, usually hit the lockers, they sit by themselves, they focus on what went wrong, engrossed in their own worlds. Well, Game 7 for the Cubs was different. They had the full burden of history on their shoulders. He watched in the hallway, Theo Epstein, their president of their club, did, as they made a choice, a different choice, to come together. There they were, and instead of blaming one another, there was a discussion. And it wasn't led by a superstar player, it was led by the guy who was having the worst year, a terrible year, and the worst season of his career. They went back and forth, and they talked about how when they went out there, they were going to do this together, win or lose. They went out, they rallied, and they won. The message? Some of us will go through our careers with our heads down, focused on ourselves, thinking about the next rung of that ladder. Others will go through our careers with our heads up as part of something bigger than ourselves, alert and aware, embracing differences, looking at that collective interest of what it means to be in society today. It's part of your oath as a new dentist. I shall do my utmost to provide the vulnerable members of society the care and attention they need to assure their health, dignity, and protection. The truth is, we can have the grandest clinics, we can have the best hospital buildings and the latest high-tech tools, but choosing to help others and to improve the world around you, that only happens with all of you. So I will close with one last story about my own daughter, who I've mentioned a few times here, because I always think about her at graduations. She's off in New York now. And this happened when she was 4 years old, and she was in the nativity play at our church. And I was out there in the pews with her, and she was supposed to go out and practice. And she was wearing this big angel regalia with this big angel wings, and she would not go out and practice. And I look at her, I say, why do you want to go out there? Everyone's looking, waiting. She goes, because I want to be the donkey. And I said, no, you can't be the donkey. There's 2 teenagers, they're really hot, and they're in that donkey costume. That is not you. Well, I want to be Mary. And I said, no, Mary is 14 years old. You cannot be Mary. I said, I don't understand. You have the coolest part. You get to go out at the end, spread your wings. She looks way up at the top of the church, and she says, Mom, I don't know how to tell them. I don't know how to fly. And I said to her that day, you know what, honey? Not all angels fly. And that's when I want to leave you, this great class of 2018, whether you're going into be a dentist, when you're going into being a dental technician, whatever you're doing in your career here, there will be those moments where you're asked to be someone's guardian angels, where you're asked to get out of your own wings and give them to someone else so that they can fly. You'll remember that moment. It might be this quiet moment. They may never remember who you are. It's someone maybe you helped who need health care, or someone that you got back on the right track, or someone you realized was addicted to drugs and you went and you tried to figure out how you're going to get them help. That's part of your oath and part of your mission as well. So I know you can do this. Give others the wings while you fly on your own, and have a great day today. Thank you so much.
Please join me in another round of applause. Senator Klobuchar is going to have to take off, but we thank her greatly for being here. At this time, I have a few brief remarks, and I will make them brief, for the classes of 2018. Former Secretary of Health and Human Services Dr. Lewis Sullivan's charge to the classes of 2017, 1 year ago on this stage, I think are as timely today as they were then. I quote, I urge you to provide compassionate science and leadership to your fellow man. Great leaders have a core set of values which guide them. These values include honesty, integrity, a love of learning, and respect for others, unquote. Follow this advice and you will enrich the lives of others and your own. Each of you as professionals have developed skills and abilities during your time with us at the School of Dentistry, which have prepared you for your professional calling. Dental hygienists, I know we will not succeed in prevention of our most common oral diseases, caries and periodontal disease, without you. Dental therapists, yours is a profession which was created to address oral health disparities and improve access to care for the disadvantaged, one of the most significant health crises of our time. There is no more noble calling. And our dentists and dental specialists, you are the leaders of the oral health care team, whether providing patient-centered quality care, administrating, developing, carrying out public health care policy, doing research, or maybe even some of you teaching. You are joining a profession with a proud tradition, wonderful opportunity, and tremendous responsibility for the oral health of our communities, states, nation, and the world. To each of you, on behalf of the faculty and staff of the School of Dentistry, we look forward to your achievements and working with you as colleagues. Our very best wishes to your personal and professional lives in the future. Thank you very much. Are you ready for this? We're going to do it. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to read the proclamation that confer our graduates their degrees. Will the candidates from advanced degree programs in endodontics, general practice residency, oral biology, oral and maxillofacial surgery, oral facial pain, orthodontics, pediatric dentistry, periodontology, prosthodontics, as well as the candidates for the degrees Master of Science in Dental Hygiene, Bachelor of Science in Dental Hygiene, Master of Dental Therapy, and Doctor of Dental Surgery, please rise. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and on behalf of the authority granted by the University of Minnesota Board of Regents, I now confer upon you the degrees for which you have qualified. Congratulations. Please recognize our graduates. We've now reached the time to formally honor our graduates. The presentation ceremony will begin with our advanced education and graduate programs in dentistry. Dr. Keith Mays, faculty members from our various advanced degree programs, and I will congratulate each student as Dr. Eric Mills announces the names of our candidates. Family members are encouraged to step forward to this first row to take photographs. Dignitaries, please take your places on the stage.
Not yet. Certificates for candidates in endodontics and a Master of Science degree in dentistry are Dr. Russell Bienis, Orlando, Florida. Dr. Catherine Ann Devine, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Dr. Katie Kickerts, Chicago, Illinois. Dr. Brandon Penaz, Waconia, Minnesota. Candidates for certificates in general practice residency are Dr. Emily Chang, Ellicott City, Maryland. Dr. Deanna Nicole Drake, Longmont, Colorado. Dr. Michael Henderson, Eota, Minnesota. Dr. Nisha Jain, Madras, India. Dr. Cody Stephen Andrew Kandera, Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Dr. Albert Luan, Fullerton, California. Candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree in oral biology are Dr. Jose Maldonado Ortiz, Calle, Puerto Rico. Dr. Dina Gamel Musa, Mansoura, Egypt. Our candidate for a certificate in orofacial pain is Dr. Hanya Bushra, Lahore, Pakistan. Our candidate for a certificate in orofacial pain and a Master of Science degree in dentistry is Dr. Irina Frivenko, Simferopol, Crimea, Ukraine. Candidates for certificates in pediatric dentistry are Dr. Dennis Baer, Orlando, Florida. Dr. Helen Ching, Honolulu, Hawaii. Dr. Haley Galit Faulkner, London, Ontario, Canada. Dr. Sophia Hyung, Silver Spring, Maryland. Dr. Allison Siemens, Excelsior, Minnesota. Dr. Stephen Edmund Soley, Edina, Minnesota. Candidates for certificates in periodontology and a Master of Science degree in dentistry are Dr. Georgios Hadjopoulos, Thessaloniki, Greece. Dr. Janelle Hamilton, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Dr. Caitlin Hemrick, Sparta, Wisconsin. Candidates for certificates in prosthodontics and a Master of Science degree in dentistry are Dr. James Lee, Cardiff, Wales, United Kingdom. Dr. Dane McMillan, Grand Prairie, Alberta, Canada. Dr. Cale McMillan, Grand Prairie, Alberta, Canada. At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Christine Blue, Director of the Division of Dental Hygiene, to congratulate the candidates for the Master of Science degree in Dental Hygiene and the Bachelor of Science degree in Dental Hygiene. Candidates for a Master of Science degree in Dental Hygiene are Dana Hickey, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Krista Renee Kriegler, Circle Pines, Minnesota. Megan O'Connell, Eagan, Minnesota. Terry Schmelling, Savage, Minnesota. Candidates for a Bachelor of Science degree in Dental Hygiene are Caitlin Bossert, St. Cloud, Minnesota. Peter DeGallier, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Catherine Ann Fisher, Rochester, Minnesota. Jessica Hadler, Lake Crystal, Minnesota. Holly Hagan, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Jocelyn Shu, La Habra, California. Stephanie Hummel, Portland, Oregon. Bailey Jerger, Park Rapids, Minnesota. Ashley Johnson, Rochester, Minnesota. Krusman Joseph, Kerala State, South India. Taylor Kohler, Lake City, Minnesota. Christina Lunan, Lismore, Minnesota. Megan Danielle Montero, Mounds View, Minnesota. Sydney Lorraine Morton, Waconia, Minnesota. Melinda Novak, Coon Rapids, Minnesota. Bryn Parsons, Eagan, Minnesota. Emily K. Rybert, Invergrove Heights, Minnesota. Gabrielle Salisbury, Chatfield, Minnesota. Besma Saidi, West Sacramento, California. Graham Schneider, Woodbury, Minnesota. Elizabeth Sparks, Plymouth, Minnesota. Yua Tao, Ham Lake, Minnesota. Jordan Thomas, Arlington, Minnesota. Kiara Van Meter, Brighton, Colorado. Julie Vo, Rochester, Minnesota. Annika Marie Ziemer, North St. Paul, Minnesota. Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Carl Self, Director of the Division of Dental Therapy, to congratulate our candidates and recipients of the Master of Dental Therapy degree. The candidates and recipients of a Master of Dental Therapy degree are Katie Nicole Ask, New Hope, Minnesota. Julie Ruth Bonham, Eagan, Minnesota. Nicole Ann Matthew, Bonduelle, Wisconsin. Sunny Sungyoung Moon, Burnsville, Minnesota. Stephanie Faye Volz, Mauston, Wisconsin. At this time, we'll welcome our Doctor of Dental Surgery graduates into the profession. The ceremony we're about to conduct involves two parts, the act of hooding by the faculty and the awarding of the diploma. Each graduate receives a hood that symbolizes entry into the dental profession. The hood has 4 colors: black to signify the importance of the occasion, and maroon and gold, the official colors of the University of Minnesota. The hoods and gowns of the graduates are trimmed in lilac velvet, symbolizing the discipline of dentistry. The hooding ceremony will be conducted by Dr. Chris Lawther and Dr. Rada Taleb. Candidates for the Doctor of Dental Surgery degree are Dr. Hannah Afwerki Lynch, Roseville, Minnesota. Dr. Meka Agrawal, Gujarat, India. Dr. Mohammed Mukhtar Ali, Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Dr. Daniel Allman, Rochester, Minnesota. Dr. Hadil Thamir Olnimi, Bozeman, Montana. Dr. Hassan Al-Shahabi, Washington, D.C. Dr. Dwight Anderson, Hankinson, North Dakota. Dr. Dwight Anderson is graduating with high distinction. Dr. Catherine Anderson, Apple Valley, Minnesota. Dr. Blake Belland, Chaska, Minnesota. Dr. Logan Books, Oakdale, Minnesota. Dr. Logan Books is graduating with distinction. Dr. Jessica Burkholder-Miscavige, Grand Forks, North Dakota. Dr. Jessica Burkholder-Miscavige is graduating with distinction. Dr. Alita Caldwell, Kalamazoo, Michigan. Dr. Nathaniel Maxwell Capel, Duluth, Minnesota. Dr. Nathaniel Maxwell Capel is graduating with high distinction. Dr. Haruka Chadive, Sterling, Virginia. Dr. Yeon Choi, Oakville, Ontario, Canada. Dr. Caleb Crystal, Hartford, Wisconsin. Dr. Carissa Clark, Winsted, Minnesota. Dr. Joshua Clarkman, Hudson, Wisconsin. Dr. John Clifford, Stillwater, Minnesota. Dr. John Clifford is graduating with high distinction. Dr. Zachary Conklin, Waubun, Minnesota. Dr. Lucy Corin, International Falls, Minnesota. Dr. Andrew Christ, Woodbury, Minnesota. Dr. Amber D'Souza, Goa, India. Dr. Jonas Dale, Cross Lake, Minnesota. Dr. Jonas Dale is graduating with high distinction. Dr. Daniel Ditch, Pelican Rapids, Minnesota. Dr. Kelly Jerf, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Dr. Kelly Jerf is graduating with high distinction. Dr. Samuel Duborowski, Motley, Minnesota. Dr. Mona Durrani, Karachi, Pakistan. Dr. Paul Dushik, Grafton, North Dakota. Dr. Karen England, Woodbury, Minnesota. Dr. Karen England is graduating with distinction. Dr. Daniel Fettison, St. Cloud, Minnesota. Dr. Daniel Fettison is graduating with distinction. Dr. Allison Forbes, Edina, Minnesota. Dr. Emily Frosacker, Bemidji, Minnesota. Dr. Anna Fusu, Hristich, Republic of Moldova. Dr. Anna Fusu is graduating with distinction. Dr. Navneet Grewal, Punjab, India. Dr. Navneet Grewal is graduating with distinction. Dr. Andrew Haddock, Rochester, Minnesota. Dr. Andrew Haddock is graduating with distinction. Dr. Murdad Hayrani, Plymouth, Minnesota. Dr. Taylor Heinlein, St. Paul, Minnesota. Dr. Taylor Heinlein is graduating with distinction. Dr. Aaron J. Henderson, Duluth, Minnesota. Dr. Cale Hermanson, Baxter, Minnesota. Dr. Lauren Herzog, Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Dr. Brielle Hoisington, Andover, Minnesota. Dr. Alicia Holt, Savage, Minnesota. Dr. Alicia Holt is graduating with distinction. Dr. Eric Hauk, Lakeville, Minnesota. Dr. Robert Hewitt, St. Cloud, Minnesota. Dr. Derek Ibarra, Iowa City, Iowa. Dr. Simona Ivanov, Arad, Romania. Dr. Ramneet Kaur, Punjab, India. Dr. Stephanie Kim, Fullerton, California. Dr. Jameson Clavins, Urbandale, Iowa. Dr. Jameson Clavins is graduating with high distinction. Dr. Basman Crady, Baghdad, Iraq. Dr. Lisa Kulig, Minot, North Dakota. Dr. Lisa Kulig is graduating with distinction. Dr. Elliot Larson, Roseville, Minnesota. Dr. Elliot Larson is graduating with high distinction. Dr. Andrew Lau, Burnsville, Minnesota. Dr. Caitlin Lauer, Plymouth, Minnesota. Dr. Caitlin Lauer is graduating with distinction. Dr. Ari Letterman, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Dr. Benjamin Lonsdorf, Woodruff, Wisconsin. Dr. Benjamin Lonsdorf is graduating with distinction. Dr. Andrew John Lund, Circle Pines, Minnesota. Dr. Fallon Maceman Tice, Hutchinson, Minnesota. Dr. Arjan Majidian, Fargo, North Dakota. Dr. Jose Maldonado Ortiz, Calle, Puerto Rico. Dr. Leah McComas, Maplewood, Minnesota. Dr. Ashley Metcalf, New Rockford, North Dakota. Dr. Keisha Milbauer, St. Cloud, Minnesota. Dr. Chinmaya Mishra, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Dr. Malini Moni, Chennai, India. Dr. Chia Mua, St. Paul, Minnesota. Dr. Matthew Nahan, Sartell, Minnesota. Dr. Ryan Nahan, Sartell, Minnesota. Dr. Amruta Naik, Pune, India. Dr. Katie Lynn Neal, Grand Forks, North Dakota. Dr. Trent Neisen, Bird Island, Minnesota. Dr. Trent Neisen is graduating with high distinction. Dr. Bill Wynn, Houston, Texas. Dr. Robinpreet Panu, Fullerton, California. Dr. John Peterson, St. Anthony, Minnesota. Dr. John Peterson is graduating with distinction. Dr. Tara Peterson, Eagan, Minnesota. Dr. Megan Reiber, Litchfield, Minnesota. Dr. Kyle Rasmussen, Faribault, Minnesota. Dr. Kyle Rasmussen is graduating with distinction. Dr. Allison Reamer, Antigo, Wisconsin. Dr. Mark Rizk, Wayzata, Minnesota. Dr. Hannah Rutten, New York Mills, Minnesota. Dr. Hannah Rutten is graduating with high distinction. Dr. Miguel Sanchez, Milton, Ontario, Canada. Dr. Tucker Sheik, Austin, Minnesota. Dr. Grant Shimura, Stillwater, Minnesota. Dr. Madeline Shimura, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Dr. Meredith Meter Schulte, Seattle, Washington. Dr. Nicholas Schulte, Dassel, Minnesota. Dr. Craig Shum, Buffalo, Minnesota. Dr. Brianna Schuster, Bismarck, North Dakota. Dr. Joseph Sem, St. Paul, Minnesota. Dr. Jared Service, Independence, Wisconsin. Dr. Pregnia Sheelam, Hyderabad, India. Dr. Jessica Skelton Majidian, Mound, Minnesota. Dr. Jessica Skelton Majidian is graduating with high distinction. Dr. Garrett Skunsing, Fargo, North Dakota. Dr. John Smith, Heartland, Wisconsin. Dr. Brian Song, Chicago, Illinois. Dr. Jeremy Song, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Dr. Katie Sonnabend, North Mankato, Minnesota. Dr. Brian Spencer, Great Falls, Montana. Dr. Brian Spencer is graduating with high distinction. Dr. Jacob Strickers, South Shore, South Dakota. Dr. Sushma Ajarya Subedi, Kathmandu, Nepal. Dr. Riza Taiba, Butwal, Nepal. Dr. Ross Thompson, Alexandria, Minnesota. Dr. Ross Thompson is graduating with distinction. Dr. Kevin Tran, San Gabriel, California. Dr. Benjamin Trapp, Springfield, Illinois. Dr. Abigail Van Leer, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Dr. Abigail Van Leer is graduating with distinction. Dr. Tyler Veneman, Caledonia, Michigan. Dr. Tony Vong, Lake Jackson, Texas. Dr. John Weber, Millbank, South Dakota. Dr. John Weber is graduating with distinction. Dr. Carly Whitsitt, Edina, Minnesota. Dr. Carly Whitsitt is graduating with distinction. Dr. Crystal Wilmus, Tyler, Minnesota. Dr. Crystal Wilmus is graduating with distinction. Dr. Nadine Yacoub, Shoreview, Minnesota. Dr. Aaron Yaffe, Winnipeg, Canada.
Congratulations to all of our graduates. At this time, I would like to invite our DDS graduates, faculty, and everyone in attendance with a Doctor of Dental Surgery or Doctor of dental medicine degree to stand with us and recite the oath for new dentists along with me. The oath can be found printed in the program. Please, those of you who are dentists, stand. In the tradition of Hippocrates and the men and women through the ages who have dedicated their lives to the art and science of medicine and dentistry, I make the following pledge. The respect and dignity of patients and the confidential nature of our relationship are foremost in my service to them. I acknowledge my limitations and need for continued education. I will seek the knowledge and inspiration of my colleagues, friends, and patients. My work shall be dedicated to improving the quality of life for those who seek my assistance. I will honor the wishes and needs of the patient and will always communicate treatment plans in the best interests of the patient. I will do no harm. I will strive always to improve the practice of dentistry to provide a level of care that is ethical, moral, and just. I expect the same standards from my colleagues and will not tolerate their indifference, greed, or unethical behavior. My profession is an honored one. I will not violate the trust society has placed in me by allowing race, religion, sexual orientation, gender, or social standing to affect my judgment or ability to take care of my patients. I will be humble. I will consider the tools of my profession to be knowledge, skill, compassion, and patience. I will share these tools freely with my colleagues and patients alike. I shall do my utmost to provide the vulnerable members of society the care and attention they need to assure their health, dignity, and protection. I see all human life as sacred. In the presence of my teachers, my family, and my friends, I make these promises solemnly and freely. With this oath, I willingly assume the rewards and responsibilities of a dentist. I would like to invite everyone now to stand together while we are led in the singing of Hail, Minnesota by Melinda Novak, a student in the Bachelor of Science in Dental Hygiene class of 2018, the lyrics for which are found in the program. Please, everyone stand with us and sing. Please be seated, and another round of applause for our graduates. As we close the 2018 School of Dentistry commencement ceremony, following the recessional, I invite everyone here to join us for a brief reception in the lobby. Thank you all for joining us in celebration and for making this day so memorable.